your girl was not ready. What's up guys, welcome to today's episode of VLOGMAS. I've got Jen here to demonstrate some toes to bar progressions. We asked on Instagram yesterday what type of CrossFit skill you wanted to see, like basically a progression, how to, and then also we'll show some modifications for you today. In order to keep this video as simple and as easy to understand as possible, the first thing that you need to know with toes to bar is how to achieve a hollow body position and an arch position. So if you don't know what that is, don't you worry, we're gonna show you. This is a hollow body position. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from this angle, but Jen's lower back is against the floor completely. Her core is nice and tight. Her shoulders are above the floor, not laying flat. So you can practice doing these hollow positions by doing hollow ups, which is where you go flat, and then you're gonna squeeze your core, lift your upper and lower body while keeping your lower back against the floor. Or if you wanna go up a little bit more, you can do hollow rocks, which is basically where you will rock back and forth, kind of like a banana boat, while keeping your lower back on the ground, like so. This is the arch position right here. So similar concept to the hollow body position. Her core is gonna stay nice and tight, activating these muscles here as well, and her feet and arms are gonna come off the floor, just like so. So you can see all of her posterior is activated, and she's keeping her shoulders and her scapula nice and tight, and everything here is activated as well. So this is basically the opposite of the hollow position. To practice this, you can do the same thing, yep, just like that. You can do arch lifts, alternating with the hollow lifts, and you can also practice rocks in this position as well. And they're the same way that you would perform a hollow rock, just in an arch position. Yep, there you go. Beautiful. Look at the butt, it looks great. So a lot of times in CrossFit, we always tell athletes to make sure that they can do a strict pull-up before attempting a kipping pull-up. We make sure to tell them to practice their strict ring muscle-ups before they do kipping ring muscle-ups, and so on and so forth. And usually toes to bar is no different. However, I realize that 99% of people are not gonna really follow that, and we don't often see strict toes to bar in a workout. There's also two different types of toes to bar. So you have a gymnastics toes to bar, which is more of a straight leg kip, and it just looks a little bit more pretty. It's a lot tighter, the toes are pointed, versus what I'm gonna teach you guys today, which is more practical for a CrossFit style workout. The other thing that's really important and often underestimated for toes to bar is a lot of core strength. A lot of times I see people using their hip flexor muscles to pick their legs up, and that's gonna put a ton of strain on your hips, your lower back, and it's not really activating your core in the way that toes to bar should be. So the next step in the progression to learning the toes to bar that's most applicable for your CrossFit style workouts is gonna be practicing the kip swing, or the beat kip as some coaches call it. And this is basically doing exactly what we just did on the floor with the hollow body and arch body positioning, and practicing it in a controlled movement, which is most important, on the bar first. She should ideally be able to stop this kipping movement at any period of time without her legs going too far behind her, or her front part of her body coming too far forward. Starting the kipping just like you would on the floor with the hollow rock, she's gonna go through both of these movements nice and controlled. Perfect. In a slower way, she's going through the hollow in the arch, just like this, making sure that her core is nice and tight, and her posterior chain is also tight as well. And she's not flailing herself around. A lot of times with people, when they do toes to bar, they get out of rhythm simply because they don't have this kipping hollow body and arch body positioning into a good rhythm. So that is definitely the most important part, because toes to bar, while it is a lot of core strength, and obviously you have to have grip strength to hang on to the bar, you definitely need rhythm for this movement. After after you've mastered the kipping swing or the kip beat, the next thing that you want to do is practice your shoulder activation. So as you are coming backwards into your hollow body positioning, you're going to essentially push yourself away from the bar while retracting your shoulders and almost lifting your shoulders up a little bit. This is, I think, something that people struggle with because they're only trying to use their lower body during toes to bar, but it really is also some shoulder activation because you do have to pull yourself up in order to get a good position to bring your legs up and move on to the next progression, which we will show you next. So you can see Jen's shoulders are coming up here and she's pushing herself away from the bar at that last moment and squeezing her scap back here. The way that I like to teach people toes to bar is doing what's called a kip and tuck and then finishing with the flick or the kip and kick method. I just think this is a lot more easy to maintain rhythm-wise. So in order to get your toes up to the bar, you're gonna have to tuck your knees. And if you can't fully get your knees to your chest, this is something to work towards. So you'll wanna practice doing a lot of kipping knees to chest or kipping knee raises. This will be the next progression after you've practiced your shoulder raises and kip dips. Jen is still pulling with her shoulders here, but instead of leaving her body in that hollow position, she's pulling her knees up as high as she can and she's practicing this tuck pull motion. The way that I personally think toes to bar can be the most smooth when you're doing them in high volume or just in a fast-paced workout is doing the tuck and kick or tuck and flip, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're doing that same thing, but on the pull-up bar, at the last minute, you're going to kick your feet up. So, tuck, kick, tuck, kick. So I'm pulling my knees to my chest while pulling my shoulders up. If you can't fully get your toes up, we're gonna show you just a little bit of a step down, which is basically the tuck and kick method, but Jen's just gonna kick her feet out in front of her to practice that kicking or flicking motion at the end of the movement. Yep. If you can't reach the bar just yet, that's okay. You can set on the top spot of the rig the J-hooks and connect a band, so that way you have something to aim for. So if Jen's gonna do a toes to bar, but she can't get her toes up to the bar, she's just gonna try to kick this band. You don't have as much height. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So at least it gives her something to work towards if she couldn't get her toes all the way up to the bar. To bring it all together, the last motion that you just want to try for obviously is to get your toes all the way up to the bar so that you can get a good RX rep. So just remember the hollow and arch positioning, rhythm, and kicking your feet up at the last minute. Yeah, look at that toes to bar. So good. I hope you guys enjoyed this toes to bar progression video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next VLOGMAS video.